Because when
his girlfriend would be better at running the offense than what's going on here.
I mean,
We're gonna talk
listen,
about
I'm gonna
this.
say
We're gonna
this.
come to
I'm
something.
gonna say this. If Jordan can run an offense the same way she runs a PR game, I'm just
she
saying.
can run an offense the same way she runs her mouth in an interview.
That's what I'm saying. Nah, I need her to run a defense like the way she could cut off an interview. Hey, nothing would get through. If she ran a defense the way she could cut off an interview that talks about her and Bill's personal life, hey, bro, we'd have the number one defense in the league. Say what you talking about. Tell me I'm lying.
I mean, you not wrong. You not wrong. But you know what is wrong?
Oh Lord.
I'm just saying that Bill thinking he's better than the job.
Man,
you got hired. You can't think you're better than the job. Bro.
Listen, bro. When I tell you
we hired you, we brought you here.
Nah, bro, I gotta read this to you because when I tell you reading this had me geeked laughing, and y'all gonna find this hilarious, bro. So Bill think he better than he bigger than the job, right? And this comes from Dan Wolken of Yahoo Sports because Dan's like, yo, Bill has not figured out the number one thing in college sports. So I had to read it. I was like, what's Dan talking about? Quote, this is the start. This is the very first sentence. Dan Wolken says, Bill Belichick and the unaccountable band of cronies and flunkies that followed him to North Carolina have failed to grasp one fundamental principle of college sports. When I tell you that first sentence hit like the White Rocks in the 80s.
Cronies and flunkies.
Band of cronies and flunkies, dog. I was like, oh, he coming in hot.
So he thinks he's doing USC a favor being their coach.
So,
which is why
he follows it up. He says, even for the most successful coach in the history of the NFL, the program and the players always come first. That means you don't bring the petty feuds that followed you from the New England Patriots into the building. It means you don't fly off to Nantucket with your girlfriend during the bye week when your team is failing on practically every front. It means that when you gut a roster from the previous regime to bring in your own people, you better actually upgrade the talent instead of throwing darts at the transfer portal like it doesn't matter because you don't believe in competition is worthy of trading X for O with your genius. He's like, Belichick has failed on every account because those around him either don't understand the job or don't take it seriously. And as a result, they have reached the midway point of the season as one of the biggest laughing stocks in the recent history of the sport. Sure, North Carolina fans and boosters were fired up when Belichick arrived last December to begin a unique experiment that had the potential to work if done correctly. But interpreting the excitement as a mandate to replace the Tar Heel brand with Belichick, his various trademarks, and Jordan's film projects is a fundamental misreading of the job he took. And he ends with this, and I love this. Or at least this is the first part because it goes into a slew of other things. He's like, Bill, here's some free advice. At North Carolina, they don't care about you enough to put up with all this. You're not one of them. You are merely hired to do a job. And if you don't want to do it, rest assured, they'll find somebody else who will. Maybe Monday's kerfluffle will be a wake-up call.
I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't know the man took off and went to Nantucket for that bye week.
Bruh, I didn't either. I said, what?
And tell you true, and like from that standpoint, now knowing that you left for the week to go to Nantucket when you knew there was work to be done. Bro, this ain't New England no more. This ain't the NFL. Bruh. You don't have a staff that is taking care of all these problems. When you come back, this is college football. Every week is important. Because
college football every week matters.
You only get 12 weeks. You get 12 weeks. 12 weeks total. The only thing that's going to provide you extra weeks after that is you performing in the back half of this season. In that first game against Clemson, if that is any indication on how you going to play in the ACC from this moment moving forward, when I tell you, sir, you might clock out for me, bro. Go ahead and clock out for me. We already put all
Listen,
the stuff on the corner. Go ahead.
we've
Go
been
ahead, pack your
talking
stuff
about
up,
it.
take you, girlfriend, all of that out of here. Because we know.
Hey,
we
you
not
know
having
it,
bro.
you know it's bad when they already mentioning Bill's buyout clause and people are already looking at it like, hey yo, when that buyout kick in, how much that buyout? How much?
$5 million?
$1 million? It went from 10 million to
You
1
find that
million.
out? Shoot, probably.
Hey yo, somebody. Hey,
listen.
listen. You know somebody somewhere who has Jordan as a booster is looking at Michael Jordan and being like, "Hey, dog, please buy Bill out already. Do the school a favor and pick up the tab.
Come on, just,
like just
we'll pay you back.
Like, promise we'll get you back in residuals. Just buy the man out, please."
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And like, to add insult to injury, you got like the thought that you had before about where this was going to go to now is devastating. Because there've been questions of should Bill make changes at the coaching staff, even just switching up play calling duties on offense and defense. Do you know what his quote was after the Clemson game? Do you know what his quote was?
Oh Lord, I don't.
This man goes on to say, the main thing we need to do is keep doing what we're doing and do it better. I don't think that fundamentally we're doing the wrong things. We're just not doing them well enough.
I'm not dealing with it.
Let this marinate for a minute. Let this marinate in your soul for a minute.
You're what?
Let it percolate.
You're what?
Let it marinate. Let it.
No. You're doing the right things. You're not doing it well enough. Sir, did you see your secondary get torched? Did you see your linebackers not tackle? Did you see your O-line not block?
Have you seen the terrible tackling job you've done since week 1? Have you seen the terrible blocking job you've done since week 1? Have you seen the terrible pass defense you've had since week 1? The only thing that has improved, if anything, has been your running game. And you know what that was? You went to the freshman.
You ain't even trust
nothing against the rest of them. You didn't even trust the rest of your running back room. You immediately went from the seniors to the freshmen. Immediately. Davion Goss, Benjamin Hall, all stayed for one game in the primary rotation.
I think my face about to be a meme. He said they play like his face looks. I guess my face about to be a meme because what?
Listen, I don't know if they're talking about you or Bill. Either way.
Hey, either way. Like,
then
and shout out Max Johnson, but like he did what he could.
Yeah,
QB play was better.
Then goes on to say, then the article goes on to say, they said Jordan Shipp and another player stayed in the stadium a little while afterwards. They even talked to their old receiver coach, who now is a scout for Clemson right now, who's now an analyst for Clemson, stayed back and talked to him in this empty stadium, in this barren wasteland of a stadium. And they asked him how he felt about the desolate look of the stadium. Jordan Shipp goes on to say, it doesn't really matter who's in the stands. All that matters is what we've got in the locker room. And I agree.
That's a veteran answer.
It doesn't matter.
That's a veteran answer. That's a good PR answer.
And remember, this is among all this growing criticism that the locker room is devoid of sufficient talent, to which Max Johnson said himself he does not agree. He says, no, I wouldn't say that. I believe in our guys. I believe in our team. I came here for a reason, and this is where I want to play. So I'm trusting the coaches, trusting our players. We need to go out there and play better. Bill's face on the sideline, he looks like he's constipated. He does, but he's always
every week.
Like that ain't
every week. That is every
and
week.
Then another thing he said, and then another thing Bill said after the game was, I'll keep my conversations with the team between myself and the team, but I'll just say we're going to work through it and we're going to work our way out of it. We'll get better every week, keep working every week, and prepare for the next team and be ready to go. That's what we're going to do. You haven't done that since week 1. You didn't even do that week 1.
So I'm gonna.
You haven't done that since the blue and white game.
Hey, I'm gonna say this. as the Carolina Panther fan in the room, who has been going through turmoil upon turmoil over the last
about their future
6-7 years, who knows what it looks like to be bad, but getting better? I know what that looks like, Bill. You know what's not getting better here? You in this squad. I'm not, and this is me as a guy who he'll tell you I'm generally pretty optimistic. I generally can find a good silver lining, even with Carolina playing bad. And he'll tell you on Sunday Carolina was playing awful, and I'm sitting here just like, well, we still got time. Like he'll tell you that was my silver lining. Like there's still time. This right now,
and they were in the game for all the game until they finally was like, you know what, we're gonna win it, and they won it.
This here is not a team that's getting better. When you are genuinely, when you get blown out the way you did against TCU, when you barely beat Charlotte the way you did, when you get blown out by UCF, when you get blown out by Clemson, if I'm keeping it a buck, if I'm keeping it 1,000, we should be 1-4 right now. We should have lost to Charlotte. That I feel like if we had lost to Charlotte, that would have made you realize how bad this has really been. We should have lost to Charlotte because that would have made Bill realize how bad this has been.
Here's the thing. Speaking on Charlotte, when you have people go in and talk about that Charlotte game, and one of the major opinions they have is 3 drop passes less on Charlotte's end, and that game's totally different, shouldn't be a conversation you have. It shouldn't be a conversation that's happening. You
and I were both out that night. And I remember when we came back, I remember catching the clips and everything, and I had the notifications on my phone. I looked at my phone, and I'm watching it here and there. Final score, 20-9. Bro, that is 2 scores. You mean to tell me we can only beat Charlotte by 2 scores? Huh?
And it's supposed to be a great squad that they got. And I still believe the talent is there. But there's no coaching, there's no leadership here. There's no leadership driving this thing forward here.
I know we were talking about establishing cultures, and usually it takes, because even with Carolina, it usually takes a while to establish a culture and establish a foundation. But man, one thing you have to do is show that you're actually trying to establish it.
Right.
You have to at least show me like you're trying to put something together.
Like at least show me that you digging up dirt, something.
like you broke ground, you planted a seed. Ground. Show me the concept of a plan at this point. Anything.